Hey lovelies, how's it going? Hope all is well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about Viola Davis speaking out about colorism in Hollywood. Now, Viola Davis made a statement saying that the paper bag test is still alive and kicking in Hollywood. If you're unfamiliar with the paper bag test, I talked about this test before on my channel, the paper bag test along with the comb test regarding sororities and fraternities. The brown paper bag test was used in the 1990s to the 1950s. If your skin was lighter than a brown paper bag, you were light enough to be attractive, sometimes used for sororities, churches, fraternities, and nightclubs. You couldn't get into any clubs or organization if you were darker than a brown paper bag. Also, they had the comb test, and this was used in the 1950s. Some people call it the pencil test. Now, what they will do is put a pencil or a comb in your hair, and if it was thick and it got stuck, then you couldn't get into establishments or organizations. Now, they say that the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated that was first founded at Howard, a lot of people say they were the first organization to implement that, them and Alpha Phi Alpha. Now, these women belong to a sorority that they said were, elegant, beautiful, intelligent. They were the elite of African American women. Then later you had Delta Sigma Theta, who consisted of a variety of women, and they refused to use the brown paper bag test. The majority of the women in this organization was dark skinned because most of the lighter women wanted to pledge, aka they were known to be, look at these words, strong, powerful, and strong-willed, but never attractive. And I'm gonna tell you guys, as a Delta, this stereotype is still alive and well. Back in the day, this is an article I found on Watch the Yard, and this article is from 1928, and it addresses black fraternities and sororities that use colorism at Howard University. Howard University is a lot of stomping grounds for fraternities and sororities, and basically they were calling out, even hearing the fact that colorism was being used in these organizations. The person said, "We are not so surprised when we hear such rumors and reports about institutions of learning owned, controlled, and attended by white people, but it certainly comes as a great shock and causes a feeling of shame when you hear such news about Negro colleges." At first glance, it would seem incredible that Negroes themselves, the victim of ignorant prejudice and discrimination because of color, should allow the leads of this Nordics. Negroes, young and old, everywhere in the world today, and particularly in the United States, have got to clearly understand that whatever your color is in the group, they are all Negroes. It isn't of the slightest moment that one Negro can boast of several white ancestors while another one cannot accept, as it realizes his ignorance, blindness, and lack of race respect. The lightest Negro in the United States is known as a Negro, whether you like it or not. There is nothing in a white skin to glow over and nothing in a black skin to be depressed about. It is character, intelligence, and virtue that count. Viola stated, when you do see a woman of color on screen, the brown paper bag test is still very much live and kicking. That's the whole racial aspect of colorism. If you are darker than a paper bag, then you are not sexy, you are not a woman, you shouldn't be in the realm of anything that men should desire. Furthermore, in the history of television and even in film, I've never seen a character like Annalise Keating played by someone who looks like me. My age, my hue, my sex. She is a woman who absolutely communicates the full spectrum of humanity, our askew sexuality, our askew maternal instance. She's all of that, and she's a dark-skinned black woman. She also added, "I hear these stories from friends of mine who are dark-skinned actresses who always being played or seen as crack addicts and prostitutes."
And this is something that people just need to say out loud, okay, is that you are invisible. Nobody sees you because you have access to nothing. People feel like you're the one who's caused your fate. That it's only the people who have the money, who have the swagger. When you don't have that, you're nobody.
VI0LA also explained the difference in pay as well. And I'm just going to close with this interview. Y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions down below.
About gender inequality of pay. Because a lot of the women who've stepped forward, and I stand in solidarity with them, okay? What they're getting paid, which is half of what a man is getting paid, well, we get probably a tenth of what a Caucasian woman gets. And I'm number one on the call sheet. And then I have to go in and I have to hustle for my worth. That's what I feel like I'm doing. When I demand what I feel, listen, I have more than a 30-year professional career. I had a friend who said, yeah, but VI0LA, your career is better than my career. I said, yeah, but you can't compare me to you. Because once again, I got the Oscar, I got the Emmy, I got the 2 Tonys. I've done Broadway, I've done off-Broadway, I've done TV, I've done film, I've done all of it. I have a career that's probably comparable to Meryl Streep, Julianne Moore, Sigourney Weaver. They all came out of Yale. They came out of Juilliard. They came out of NYU. They had the same path as me. And yet, I am nowhere near them. Not as far as money, not as far as job opportunities, nowhere close to it. But I have to get on that phone and people say, you're a black Meryl Streep. You are, and we love you. We love you. There is no one like you. Okay, then if there's no one like me, you think I'm that, you pay me what I'm worth.